someone overdosed and died over there, and then 2 days later they're pulling a woman out of the house unconscious, throwing her in the passenger seat of a car.
Neighbors fed up over a known drug house plaguing their community.
That's right. More than a dozen suspected heroin overdoses at the same Summit County address. It is a story News 5 first brought you earlier this year, and now we have a tragic update. Only
News 5's Derick Waller is uncovering those alarming new details.
Well, first responders were called to that same Barberton home 18 times over 2 years. And now I've learned the woman at the center of all that drug activity just overdosed herself and died.
We thought she was getting help, and we believed her when she said she was.
He's keeping calm, but Dennis Ansell is dealing with tragedy. His 36-year-old stepdaughter, Katie Morrison Young, died on Saturday of a suspected heroin overdose.
You don't want to think your child's actually hooked on drugs, but there were signs, and I guess we ignored them.
I caught up with Morrison Young in a Barberton drug courtroom in January after an acquaintance of hers also died of a suspected overdose at her Norwood Street home. That same address, the site of about 18 possible overdoses over 2 years. Ohio was ground zero for the opioid crisis, and in Summit County, they just shattered a record with more than 300 overdose deaths in 2016, and the medical examiner isn't even done counting.
You live that lifestyle and you're gonna end up dead.
This neighbor called 911 in January, fearful for the neighborhood kids.
Seeing people just pulled out of this house on a weekly basis, sometimes twice within 24 hours.
Right now, it's easier to get heroin than it is to buy beer.
Antel says heroin's grip forced himself and Katie's mom to assume custody of her 2 teenage children, and they tried to get her in rehab with little luck.
They were overloaded. Even the addicts that want help, I don't think they find that they can get it immediately.
And Morrison Young's body is now here at the Summit County Medical Examiner's office in Akron. Her family is awaiting the results of an autopsy as they now plan her funeral. In Akron, I'm Derick Waller, News 5.